Based on my experience living life so far, I kind of came up with the conclusion that, most things in life will happen just out of, routine. For example, just on time, most of our reports from the government recently came back, and many people have either started to, file the good old tax returns or are at least starting their inevitable journey to federal prison. And similarly, the gaming world is a prime example of how, the world can just show that it acts on nothing but routine. Games are still going microtransaction crazy, live service games are the dominating choice for developers versus actual effort. Someone's abusing a power-word animal right now as we speak, and I can bet that if I put the name electronic arts next to, any negative adjective in the dictionary without even explaining, the majority of people watching will just be like, yeah, he's right. EA has arguably one of the most negative stigmas for a gaming company that, I can't even think of in the whole industry. And, it's for good reason, don't get me wrong. But, even though I can say that they've recently been queefing out some titles that, I actually find myself enjoying, they still do find a way every now and then to keep up that reputation of theirs that we mostly know them for, mainly in the light of softcore robbery through microtransactions. However, EA recently made a mistake that doesn't necessarily have to do with the expected taxing DLC on the game a decade years old, and more on a mistake that's genuinely a up from someone in the inside studios. A mess up so bad that players are bringing out the old-time classic striking method of threatening to no longer play or support the specific title ever again. So this whole controversy has to do with, one of Electronic Arts' most infamous and long-running sports franchises based on the game of soccer, aka football for any country that didn't invent cheeseburgers, and that game is none other than FC 24, which used to be dubbed as FIFA. Now personally, I don't play FC 24 and I haven't touched a FIFA game since, God, I just realized how old I am. But FC 24, pretty much falls into the category of all other modern main sports games that we have. They were once fun and innovative, but then turned into nothing more than copy and paste games with only innovative microtransactions. And it is what it is, people are used to it now. However, this recent F24 glitch came in the form of something that the studios accidentally gave players as part of a limited time event that they were hosting. You see, earlier in the week, players were given something called a squad building challenge, and upon completion, you were apparently guaranteed an 86 plus overall player, but there was an even smaller chance that you got a team of the year player, which is basically like a legend, damn near broken player in the game that even non-soccer fans know of, like Messi, Mbappe, basically a player that you will see 𝑕 acting crazy over in the clip. However, like I said, there was a glitch, and so because of that, for a brief period of time, speculated to be around 24 minutes, players who won the challenge were getting guaranteed wins of a 97 overall Messi player card, and the player count of the winners is set to be somewhere in the thousands. I gotta take this time to remind you that, FIFA is also a game that runs paid loot boxes with a reward economy almost as toxic as, CSGO knobs. So these cards that players accidentally won are worth real money for trade, and apparently the Messi card had a peak value of around $800 before all of this happened, which is fucking insane. So not only is the game damn near unbalanced for anyone with an average team, trying to go against anyone with this Messi player card, but also anyone who knows how to flip a card in the FC market likely has a good payday on the way, which is just crazy to see. But of course, in typical fashion, EA found a way to add even more wood to the ongoing fire, because in their official statement that they released today, they basically said, in my paraphrased words, "We feel sorry for the players affected by this, but we aren't taking back the Messi cards that players accidentally won, and we'll just try to, stop this from happening in the future." Suck my balls. And so with that, you can imagine the online hate and pushback that EA received because of all this, especially with players who actually grinded long hours and paid real money to get the players that they have, just to get shit on by players who obtain such a grailed item. So it does suck to see, players who actually put in time and effort into a game, to get treated the worst in the situation. But unfortunately, when EA is involved, well, all bets are off. I can't even lie to you. So hopefully this is the first time that this will ever happen, and it won't happen again. But of course, we'll just have to wait and see what happens to EA's games in the future. So what do you guys think about EA and, this ongoing thing with the players right now, man? Feel free to comment down below. As always, if you like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Next one.